Do your countertops look like this and you're dealing with a dog who counter surfs? Let me show you the first step in teaching your dog not to counter surf. The first step is to clean your countertops off. I know this is the most difficult and I know it's not what you want to hear, but if you clean your countertops off and there's nothing up there for your dog to get a hold of, the behavior will self-extinguish itself. They'll stop trying because every time your dog jumps up here and they get something, they've just hit the jackpot and they're gonna try again. So it's super hard. I know we're all humans and we want to just throw things on the counter and walk away, but this is going to be the first step in dealing with counter surfing. The next step in dealing with counter surfing is more management. So invest in one of these exercise pens. They fold out for as much as you need. I'm just not showing you the rest of my kitchen because it's under construction, so it's a mess. But this exercise pen is set up so your dog can't even reach the counter. So they're prevented from jumping up. If you don't want to try this, don't worry, I've got some more options for you. So you don't want to invest in an exercise pen. That's okay. There are other things you can use. Think cardboard boxes, maybe even that scary vacuum propped up next to the counters. But guess what, guys? The only way to really deal with a counter surfer is management. So if you have a dog that counter surfs, you don't want to give them free access to the kitchen unless you are in there with them. So either baby gate off the space or have your dog on a leash, either tethered to you or just having them dragging that leash so if they go to walk into the kitchen, you can get a hold of them and bring them back. You have to manage this behavior. You certainly can teach your dog an off or stop or things like that, but guess what? Your dog has to practice counter surfing in order for you to be able to practice that off. And what we ultimately want to do is just prevent the behavior to begin with. So that does mean you're going to need to completely clear off your countertops, and then you're going to need to prevent them from having open access to your counters, especially when you can't be in the room with them. If you are in the room with them and you're doing something and your dog jumps up on the counter, you can quickly go ahead and gently push them off and say off. But again, we don't want to get in the habit of that because then that just kind of gives our dog permission to jump up on the counters. So I wish there was a better solution for you guys, but management is the name of the game for counter surfers. If you have a dog that all of these things aren't working for, please feel free to reach out and ask me. There are some other things we can try for counter surfing, but I really only recommend them on a very, very small basis. Your dog has to be incredibly confident, not scared of noises, things like that. So there are more options, but start here, guys, and really give it your best effort. Remember, to see behavior changes, you need at least 2 weeks of practice. Your dog is not going to get it in one afternoon. You have to give them time to learn. All right, guys, if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. And as always, don't forget to tell your dog I said hi.